Hey everyone, Nick here and welcome back to GamerTube, and welcome back to our What Could Be in Poppy Playtime series. So for today's character, we're looking into Poppy herself. So we'll be going into Poppy's location, her gameplay mechanics, and all that good stuff as well. And as always, I will just state that this is not really definitive of what the character will look like, act like, and actually what will be in the later chapters in the game. Pretty much, this is just a what if scenario, and we hope you enjoy the cool creepy story we get to tell. And lastly, before we start today's video, do be sure to subscribe to GamerTube as it helps out a lot and it's greatly appreciated. And it also keeps you up to date with all the videos that we post. Alrighty, well, let's take a better look at Poppy. So before we get into Poppy's portion of the game, let's quickly recap what happened in Chapter 1. So our protagonist first arrives at the Playtime Co. factory. They acquire the GrabPack and make their way towards the main lobby. This is where they first meet the terrifying creature Huggy. After grabbing the key and turning on the power, they then advance further into the factory. After solving more puzzles, they eventually end up in the Build a Friend portion of the factory. Once the toy Cat Bee has been built, the player then meets the true form of Huggy. They narrowly escape as they drop a heavy crate on Huggy, causing him to fall off the platform. The player then enters through the Poppy door, and this is where we first see the doll of Poppy. She's displayed behind a glass cabinet. And once the player opens it up, we hear,
"You opened my case."
So now that Poppy's display cabinet has been opened, they are free to roam around the factory as they please. And the area that Poppy escaped to was that of the Innovation Center. So in our last concept video, the protagonist acquired the key to the Innovation Center and faced off against Candy Cat. After they defeated Candy Cat, they then made their way to the main lobby and finally unlocked the Innovation Center. As they enter, it's revealed that this section of the factory is very similar to the room behind the Poppy door. As they walk through the halls, they come across multiple different doors. Behind each of the doors was a child's bedroom. But there wasn't anyone in sight. As far as they knew, the whole factory had been evacuated. Maybe this has something to do with the Playtime Co. orphanage adoption program. Did Elliot Ludwig really house all the orphans inside the factory? And why? For what reason? After travelling further down the halls, they come across two doors. One reading Ideas and Concepts, and the other door reading Innovation. The player goes to open the Innovation door, but it appears to be locked. It looks like they're going to have to search the Ideas and Concept room first. When they enter this room, they come across a wall with a large glass panel. As they look through it, it seems to be a children's play area. But amongst all the toys was a whiteboard with multiple words written down. It almost seems that the Playtime Co. staff got their ideas from these children to come up with the concepts for their toys. They then come across a much more clinical looking room. This room is filled with old looking computers, multiple chairs, and what looks to be brainwave scanning equipment. Our protagonist didn't know for sure that's what they were, but it looked like something they've seen in movies and TV. Amongst all the equipment, they spot the key to the Innovation door. They quickly grab the key and head back. They enter through the door, and before them they see Poppy herself sitting on a chair in the middle of the room. As they get closer to the doll, the light starts to flicker. When they turn back on, Poppy had disappeared. All of a sudden they hear the sound of children's laughter. They turn around and see a sinister looking figure peering out at them from one of the corridors. They laugh and then fade back into the darkness. What or who was that? Was that Poppy? It couldn't have been. Whatever it was, they didn't want to stick around to find out. They enter through the door behind the chair and see painted on the wall, "Poppy wants to play." They once again see the doll as it disappears once again. The player soon realises that they need to play their game and try and find Poppy. If they partook in Poppy's game of hide and seek, then maybe they could finally escape this place. So in this gameplay segment, the player would need to search around the Innovation Center and find Poppy. But the player would have to keep moving as the mysterious creature they saw would always be moving after them. If the player gets lost or doesn't find Poppy in time, then the creature could be right behind them. Whenever the player would locate Poppy, they would go to pick her up. As they did, she would start to levitate in a strange and creepy fashion. She would disappear once again and reappear in another location. The player would have to find Poppy 5 times to complete the puzzle. Each time Poppy disappears, the frightening creature stalking the player would get faster and faster. Eventually, they would find Poppy at her last location. She would appear back in the Ideas and Concept room. As they finally pick her up, they see on the monitors that the front doors of the factory have been opened. The player can finally escape this nightmare. While still holding Poppy, they both head back. They exit the Innovation Center and enter into the main lobby. Waiting for them in the lobby is the sinister creature that was stalking them in the other rooms. It almost looks like Poppy. But what was it? Was it one of the orphans? Or was it the true Poppy? The creature lets out a scream as the door leading to the entrance closes. This would now bring us to the boss segment of the chapter. The creature would chase the player around the lobby where Huggy once stood. The player needs to outrun them until they stop chasing them. When the player has the chance, they would use the Poppy doll to their advantage. When the creature reappears, they would hold the Poppy doll in front of them. Poppy's eyes would glow red as the creature screams in pain. It appears the doll version of themselves has the power to injure them and even capture their soul. The player would have to wait for Poppy's eyes to recharge. Whilst they recharge, the creature would chase the player around the lobby again. The player would need to be careful because at any time if they got caught, it would be a one-shot death and the battle would start again. Finally, on the 5th loop, the player would show the creature Poppy for the last time. The creature starts to fade away as Poppy's eyes glow red. After the battle was done, they could finally exit into the entrance. Just before they exit, they look at Poppy in their hand. Before their eyes, she vanished and appears on the main desk behind them. She lets out a sinister laugh as the doors shut, locking out the player. It seems Poppy had gotten what she wanted. She and all of her friends finally got to play with someone for the very last time. This was Poppy's final playtime.
Alrighty
Alrighty everyone, well that's all we have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing, as it helps out a lot and it's greatly appreciated. Also, do be sure to comment down below what you thought of Poppy, and also what you'd like to see going forward. Now, I know there isn't any more characters to really cover in Poppy Playtime, but let me know down below in the comments section if you would like to see any custom-made characters added into the Poppy Playtime universe. Alrighty, well until the next video, I'll catch you later, bye.